And you're live on Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko, looking at everything happening around the world of sports. Welcome back. Yes, sir, the best of Lionel Messi right there. I will keep asking the question, should a player, or rather, should a team be built around a particular player? We know when we watch Barcelona, everyone wants to see Lionel Messi score the goals. And he surely comes up and scores 1 or 2 goals, or even a hat-trick. And for Argentina, he also does the same. But really, should a player be built around a particular, should the team be built around a particular player? A case study of the Argentine team. I've got Ufuoma Egbamono right here on the show. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Making your debut on the program.
I hope to be a productive debut.
We've been listening to you on radio, and it's quite good to see the fans watch you live on TV, giving you analysis. I mean, going straight to it, do you really support the fact that teams are being built around particular players?
Actually, it depends. It honestly depends. If you've got arguably the best player in the world, arguably the best player ever, it's not so much of a big deal to build a team, you know, around such a player. But of course, there's been this somewhat or seeming disparity between the Lionel Messi that plays for Barcelona and the Lionel Messi that plays for Argentina. Truth be told, he's actually been great for Argentina. He has been great for Argentina. Or let's say he has been very good. Maybe that should be the word.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it hasn't translated into trophies.
Yeah.
And that's why it's felt like he really doesn't do anything. Because if we have to be honest with ourselves, the last 2 Copa America, Lionel Messi was the best player in the tournament.
Sure.
They lost on penalties to Chile. At the 2018 World Cup was a no-no. Messi was just not it. In fact, the Argentina team was just not it. But go back to 2014. He was arguably the best player at that tournament. Unfortunately, they came up against a determined Germany who you could say wanted it most, or they didn't take their chances. I think one of the biggest problems of Argentina, which is also the topic we're discussing here, is the fact that a lot of the other casts sort of leave the job, so to speak, for him.
Do you really think it's about leaving the job for Lionel Messi? Because looking at the Argentine team, we have 2 other quality players amongst the others. Apart from Aguero, we have Dybala. There's also Di Maria. I wouldn't say they practically leave the job for Lionel Messi. To
be very, very honest with you, Dybala is just an up-and-coming...
A makeshift Lionel Messi.
Angel Di Maria is, apart from Lionel Messi, Angel Di Maria, and to some extent, Javier Mascherano, not 2018 Mascherano, the pre-20, they were the guys who stepped up aside Lionel Messi in the last 4-5 years. Unfortunately, Kun Aguero hasn't really caught it when he wears the national team jersey. The less we talk about Gonzalo Higuain, the best.
I didn't even mention his name.
You know, because unfortunately, even though he's come good in a few of the games, when it's really needed most, Gonzalo Higuain, and not just in Argentina, it's been the hallmark of his career. He sort of flutters to deceive at the highest of the levels. So I think Argentina's problem is the fact that, one, depending too much on Lionel Messi, the coach is also trying to fix everything to be all around Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi is arguably the greatest goal scorer, at least of this generation. Well, he has that competition with Cristiano Ronaldo. But for someone who passes that well, for someone who scores that amount of goals, you should expect that maybe he should just concentrate on scoring goals for Argentina, because guess what? Goals win you games. But I think Messi does too much. He wants to enforce the play. He wants to be the playmaker. Then he wants to be the goal scorer. At the last Copa America, he was the highest goal scorer. He was the best player in the tournament. Unfortunately, when he got to the final, the 1 or 2 times he set up Gonzalo Higuain, he fluffed his lines. If you also go back to the 2014 World Cup final, Gonzalo Higuain also missed sitters. Kun Aguero himself, when he gets to those nitty-gritty, the semi-finals, the finals, has sort of not shown the kind of form we've seen, you know, at Manchester City. I'm not trying to absolve Lionel Messi of all the blames. I also think that maybe that's the reason I would maybe not put him in the same bracket as
the Agueros and Higuain.
No, the Peles of this world.
Okay, you know, talking about Pele, the Brazilian national team. When we had Ronaldo, some people actually felt it was all about Ronaldo, but we had this particular Danielson. Other super players right there in that team, Romario, they were all part of that team. They all made Brazil work. That's why we knew them back then. But lately, it's been all about Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, even in the Brazilian national team, Neymar Jr.
I think Brazil's biggest problem right now is the fact that they are too European and they've forgotten what made them thick in the first place. Some of us growing up, there was a style associated with Brazil, the samba style. You watch Brazil now and they are more physical and European. They are more efficient. In fact, they play like a Germany as opposed to the traditional Brazil. And yes, that particular team you mentioned, between 94, 98, 2002, it was more of a team effort. You know, they had, you mentioned the era of Romario. There was Romario, there was Bebeto, there was Cafu, you know, there was their former manager, Dunga was the captain of the side. It was a team effort. Going also to 98, the Danielsons, the Rivaldos, the Ronaldinhos of this world, you know, came into, okay, Ronaldinho was in 2002. But the bottom line, it was, yes, there was the icing on the cake in terms of Ronaldo de Lima, but you also had the support cast who did the business. Exactly. But I think in present day Brazil, the biggest problem Brazil has right now is that a lot of their players have been exported to Europe. They are now playing more like Europeans, and unfortunately you can't beat the Europeans at their game. So I think Brazil there needs to be a reboot, you know, for Brazil to go back to what made them thick in the first place if they're going to get something out of it.
Looking at the Brazilian national team, Neymar didn't get to feature in that particular game, and that game ended 1-1, and Messi was a part of the Argentine team that lost to Venezuela 3-1. Taking it to Portugal now, I saw the game between Portugal and Serbia. Ronaldo was all over the place. Some actually blamed Ronaldo for the 1-1 draw against Serbia, but I think he gave his best. But at the point where he got injured, Portugal became less to nothing. They didn't have any other thing to offer. And this also affects wherever it is that Ronaldo plays or Messi plays. If Ronaldo is injured or if Lionel Messi is injured, it becomes a problem to the national team or to the club where they play.
Sure.
I hope we'll get to see you more often.
Well, always available whenever you want me. I hope I made a great debut.
Sure, of course, of course. I'm sure the guys actually enjoyed you talking sports today with us on Plus TV Africa. Well, that's the size of our package on today's show. Do join us again tomorrow, same time, same station. I am Udoka Njoko. I thank you, Samson Oloyede, who was here earlier, where we talked about the under-23 national team. And hey, before I go, let's talk about Ahmed Musa. He promised to give ₦1 million for each goal scored in that game against Libya. And after the game, it was confirmed by the media officer of the Super Eagles that he actually delivered his promise. Yeah.
Great inspiration.
₦4 million.
I wish I had that amount.
Yeah, I really wish I play football. And I've said my children must play football. I'm living here. I need to start playing football. There's a man behind the camera who says he can actually run. He partook in the marathon, and I'm sure he didn't even finish. He didn't even finish in the top
100. I didn't say this in
Well, it's good to have you on the show today.
My pleasure, bro.
Thank you very much. So that's the best we can take until we come your way again. Keep it locked down to Plus TV Africa.